This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Uncle Jesse wants to know, has there ever been any discussions while you were at WWE to make a different ring for the women since they're considerably smaller than the men? I ask because when they run the ropes, most women look like they're up on their tippy toes, so their backs hit the ropes. This is an interesting question that I don't think would maybe work with a lot of other podcasts, but someone who was hitting those ropes every day for decades maybe knows what we're talking about here. Do you think that the women were at a disadvantage with, having to take more steps?
Well, I can tell you this, a bigger ring the high spots themselves are not as crisp. The collisions aren't as unsuspected, or that's probably not the right word.
It's not as spontaneous. But, yeah. I mean, you got to choreograph it a little more.
There are more steps, and they're running into getting their head taken off. About 4 steps ago, they could have avoided that. You know what I mean? Yes. WCW rings were smaller. I thought all the high spots were tighter. You could get from point A to B quicker, and it made for just a quicker moving match, I think. Plus the ring, to its credit, it wasn't as hard. Those WWE rings are hard, and they are big, and you do have to, when you're running buckle to buckle, it can seem like forever. So I do agree. I like the smaller rings, always did. But I bet if you told the girls, hey, you're just girls, we need to build you a smaller ring, you'd have got your head slapped off by some of these ladies.
That's true. So let's talk about that, because you wrestled obviously in basically every size ring, probably 16, 18, 20. WWE's 22 foot. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
And then WCW would have been 18 or 20.
I'm going to say 18.
So you're picking up 4 more steps in the WWF compared to WCW.
When you first get up there and you get like somebody's going to reverse turnbuckle you, and you take about 2 or 3 steps and you're ready to start turning, but you're still 4 or 5 feet out, because you're programmed into, this is how many steps I take before I start to turn to eat that turnbuckle with my back. And it's just ingrained in you from years of working on the same size ring. And when you start to turn and you're not there, that's a weird feeling. It takes a while to restructure your inner clock and know when to start turning to try to make that thing work. And the one thing I found out was off center of the ring, and don't get whipped in until you're from the middle or cheating a little bit towards the buckle you're going to be at. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you do take the same amount of steps and you get there just as quickly, but you just don't run buckle to buckle.
I recently had to watch In Your House #1, the very first one, and it was Sid versus Diesel. And Sid had been with the company for a little while, but I mean, he had a bigger run in WCW. And I felt like when I watched it, that when Nash whipped him into the buckle, his muscle memory is, I'm in a WCW ring, because he turned, I don't know, it just looked awkward. It did look like, and I had an old timer once make a comparison to me. He said the different size rings, it would mess you up. And I said, how so? And he said, do you ever get up to go pee in the middle of the night and think you're going back to your bed, and you realize you're actually out of town, or you're at a hotel, or you're at a friend's house, or you're at a rental or whatever? It's not the same path to the bathroom as to your bed as it is at your house, but you don't know that because you're just sort of in the moment. It's dark, it's at night, and you just have a routine. It's this many steps. And I don't know, but that really made sense to me, that you just have like a sixth sense of where you are. And then all of a sudden you're not there.
It's like an inner clock.
Yeah.
It tells you when to start turning. That's a pretty good analogy. Yeah. I'll agree with that. It is ingrained into you, because how many times have you ate a buckle, in 15 years?
Right.
I mean, my God, it had to be in the thousands, I would think.
Sure.
And if it was every time was the same, 1, 2, 3, start turning, grab the top rope, eat the buckle, then that was just night after night, 330 nights a year, 350 nights, year after year after year after year, it just becomes automatic. And now suddenly it's not automatic.
I can't imagine, man. That'd be like writing with your left hand.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.